Hi, welcome to the HSSE Audit Preparation video. In this video, we will review the Environment Manual and Contractor Management Manual of the HSSE and SP Control Framework. In order to understand how these manuals apply to the HSSE audit, let's start at the very beginning. The all-encompassing Shell Control Framework sets boundaries which all businesses and functions manage their operations and activities within. This is the single, overall control framework that applies to all Shell companies, and the key components are illustrated here. Let's focus on the Standards and Manuals section of the overall control framework. Standards are mandatory rules created in response to common risks across the group. Manuals provide detailed instructions in order to implement the standards. Today, we will look at the HSSE and SP Control Framework and the Environment and Contractor Management Manuals within. The Shell HSSE and SP Control Framework mandates a commitment and a policy. The HSSE and SP commitment includes: pursue the goal of no harm to people, protect our environment, manage HSSE and SP matters as any other critical business activity, and promote a culture in which all Shell employees share these commitments. Got it? Good. The HSSE and SP policy includes a systematic approach to HSSE and SP management designed to ensure compliance with the law. The policy does this by setting targets for improvement and measures, appraises and reports performance, and requires contractors to manage HSSE and SP in line with this policy. HSSE and SP standards, or mandatory rules, associated with the HSSE and SP control framework include HSSE and SP common processes, health, personal safety, security, environment, contractor management, projects, transport, social performance, product stewardship. The HSSE and SP framework manuals provide us with detail and scope to the above standards. Let's take a deeper look at the Environment Manual and Contractor Management Manual. Did you remember that manuals are the detailed instructions we need to implement the standards? Retail has identified the following sections of the Environment Manual in scope to the retail organization: soil and groundwater, waste, ozone-depleting substances. Let's start with the SGW section of the Environment Manual. The SGW section is applicable to company-owned sites, acquisitions and divestments, and divested sites with ongoing Shell liability. Requirements to manage SGW risks include installing and sampling wells to detect groundwater contamination, investigate and assess risk as determined by SGW subject matter experts. In addition, each operating site must establish and maintain controls based on as low as reasonably practicable solutions. This includes leak detection and containment and robust spill response plans. We must also quantify the financial liability of soil and groundwater contamination, as it is associated with acquisition, divestment, and future contamination management, and use these results in our business decision-making. Technical SGW requirements include the creation of a RAP, Phase 1 and Phase 2 site investigation to develop a CSM. Evidence of compliance to the SGW section of the Environment Manual could include evidence that an SME is appointed and used, SGW PMs, evidence that acquisition and divestment follow decision trees and include SGW SMEs to advise on Phase 1, Phase 2 as needed, evidence of financial liability included in business decision documents. Additional standards that support implementation of the Environment Manual include the Downstream Groundwater Management Standard. The Waste section of the Environment Manual is applicable to all company-owned or controlled waste from our sites and activities. We must identify opportunities to reduce, reuse, recycling, and recovery opportunities in our activities. We are required to monitor waste activities through identification, characterizations, classification, and segregation. And remember, in order to transport and dispose of waste, you must meet internationally recognized standards and government-approved disposal sites, methods, and contractors. Also, hazardous waste must be segregated from other waste and disposed in government-approved facilities that have been reviewed by a subject matter expert. And finally, you must keep retail waste tracking records for local regulations and for group records management. Evidence of compliance to the waste section of the Environment Manual could include specific policy and procedure manuals, evidence of segregation of waste at sites during projects, evidence of waste transport manifests, evidence of waste volume documentation in GPMR. Now, on to ozone-depleting substances. These must be identified and inventoried until they are eliminated per details in the ozone-depleting substances section of the Environment Manual. Now let's look at the Contractor HSSE Management Manual. This manual is applicable to Mode 1 and Mode 2 contracts and aims to ensure that contracts include the management of HSSE risks and deliver effective management of HSSE risks during contracted activities. Prior to awarding a contract, the contract owner and contract holder are identified and the contract mode, whether it be 1, 2, or 3, is determined based on the contract HSSE risk. Also, prior to awarding a contract, the contractor's HSSE plan and an assessment of the contractor's capability and resources to manage HSSE risks must be completed. The contract holder must approve the HSSE plan, require contractor to demonstrate that personnel have knowledge of the HSSE requirements and plan, and require the contractor to demonstrate all personnel will be trained on the HSSE risks of the contracted activities and controls to manage the HSSE risks. The contract holder must also verify that the HSSE requirements of the contract and HSSE plan are being implemented and are effective at managing the HSSE risk of the contract. They should regularly assess the HSSE performance and management of subcontractors. This includes improvement plans if KPIs are not met. Also, the contract holder must recognize good HSSE performance and apply consequence management to contractors that show unacceptable performance. That covers the Shell HSSE and SP Control Framework, with a special focus on the environment in contractor management manuals. If you need more information, Retail has created the following documents to assist us in ensuring we're meeting the HSSE CF requirements: Network Imperatives, Risk-Based Site Asset Management, Retail Real Estate Handbook, Global Design Standards, GIDS, SGW Technical Position Papers, Retail Engineering and SGW Contractor Safety Case, Hazards and Effects Register. Thank you.